Okay, we have our piece. It loads up a little crooked. If you can look at the grid lines, it's not perfectly parallel. So let's first fix that. Doesn't have to be perfect. That looks about good. So now it's almost parallel. And now we want to use the cut function. If you select it, it's up here next to lay on face, or you can just do C on the keyboard. Now we want the rotation 90 on the x-axis, 90 on the y, and then that way, if you notice, now we're cutting horizontal. Before, if we reset it, it was a horizontal cut, sorry, and we want it vertical. So 90 on the x, 90 on the y, and now we have this. Now the important thing here is you want to say keep orientation for both parts. If you don't, it'll move it, and we don't want it misaligned. So now we suddenly have it in two halves. Now I'm gonna add a part, doesn't matter what part. I'm just gonna put one of these labels that I have. It's just easy to do it. And let's rotate that. Let's rotate that so that it's aligned. Now this one, if you look at the measurements, the long side is 23 millimeters, and obviously that's too long for us, so we want that down to 5. So we're going to scale that, and not uniform scale it, because we're only interested in this 23 getting shorter. So we're going to make that 5 millimeter, and that's our guide. And if we want to make it a little easier, we can change the color here. Just so it's easier on us. Well, anyway, so basically what we want to do is we want to put what I did was, this might not be the best way to do it, but I want to put this along one of the grid lines here and get it as close as possible on that grid line. This way, when I move this piece, I can actually, when I move it, I can move it until that. So again, it's not scientific, but you can get it quite close just looking at the overlaps. And there we go. That's relatively close. So now we have a guideline, this gray line, and we've used this, so we no longer need that. Now we want to place another cut. So we go back here, you can do C, and again, it's defaulting to a horizontal cut. That's not what we want. Sorry. And it's defaulting to this. Now we want to make a movement. Actually, move it ourselves to that gray line. And again, it doesn't need to be perfect for our purposes. And let's just get a little bit, sorry. There we go. And then we're gonna perform cut. And now this middle piece is the 5 millimeter chunk. Actually, let's look at how close we were. So it's 5.09. So again, you can refine this to a little bit better, but you know, we're talking millimeters, so it's not gonna be end of the world. And now we want to place this over here. Obviously, you can align it, but since this is a weirdly shaped piece, align might not work so well. And of course, when I was doing this for you, I didn't cut the part number. I cut it over here, but in the end you get, and then you can just select both and then merge them into a single piece so that you have that. So that's about how I did it. Might not be the best way, but that's how I can explain it to you. At least in Slicer without using Blender.